then you look at a team like the Dolphins right now with Tua, they're scoring about 28 points per game. Without, about 16 points per game. And Tua said he's really excited to get back in the lineup. I don't know if it's 100% that he's going to be back in starting with his Miami Dolphins team, Tank. If he does, what sort of impact does that have on the Dolphins offense? And would you feel comfortable laying 7 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers who are riding the high of beating the Bucs?
I mean, I think given the parity in this league, I don't feel comfortable laying that points with any team. Like that's just the way it's
Yeah.
been this season. But I will say that I wouldn't be surprised if McDaniel try to, slowly reintegrate Tua back into that offense. But that being said, like the Pittsburgh Steelers can be had through the air. Like we saw what Josh Allen and Gabe Davis did to those Steelers like a couple of weeks ago. That's why I felt like Tom Brady and Mike Evans should have done work on them last week. So surprised that they didn't. But that's the thing. Is he going to unleash Tua? Like, if he does, like, you have Jalen Waddle on one side, like the cheat on the other side. Man, there shouldn't be any way in hell that the Pittsburgh Steelers stay in this game if they try to attack that secondary through the air. Also, if you look at it from the Pittsburgh Steelers perspective, the way that these concussions have been trending, they especially with the high-profile players, your quarterbacks, it seems like even if Kenny Pickett is practicing, he's not going to play this week. I don't think. I think it's going to be a week of Mitch
Mm-hmm.
Trubisky, and then probably Pickett will be back the following week. So if that's the case and it ends up being a shootout, like Trubisky really doesn't like to test any defenses downfield. That's more Pickett's alley. So I don't know if I really like Deontay Johnson, the Claypools, and the George Pickens like challenging that weak Dolphins secondary deep because I just don't think it's in Trubisky. So that being said, like I give the lean towards Miami. I don't know about that 7, but I give the lean towards
Mm-hmm.
Miami. But given that both of these defenses give up points, probably definitely over that 44.5.
The Dolphins are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings, but the touchdown, it's a lot of points, especially if Tua's coming back and playing his first minutes in 3, 4 weeks. Something to keep in mind: the Steelers have the third worst offense in the entire league. The total set at 44.5. Jared, were you leaning the over or the under for the total of this game?
So I don't have a real feel for the total, but I will speak to Tank's point about the spread being where it is and
Mm-hmm.
underdogs in the NFL this year. Underdogs of over a field goal this year. I just looked it up while you guys were talking because I was like, wow, that's an interesting point. I wonder how many times the favorites of over, just small favorites over a field goal have covered. They haven't. If you just put $100
Wow.
blindly
At
on
all?
every under, no, it's happened at some point. But if you just put $100 blindly on every underdog of 3.5 points or more this year, so more than a field goal, you're up like $1,500. It's 38-19, the against the spread record for underdogs of 3.5 points or higher. 67%. So yeah, our eyes are telling us that the favorites aren't winning by as many points. The scoring's down in the league, and it's harder to lay a lot of points. So and the trend backs that up too. The trend matches what our eyes tell us. So yeah, I'm not laying 7 with Miami, but I would tease the Dolphins down. I think it's really hard to back Pittsburgh after that win last week. I mean, you would expect the numbers to kind of move a little bit in their favor. The market, let's see what the market did
Mm-hmm.
here. Steelers, yeah, it was hovering 5.5, 6 really last week too, and then it jumped to 7. So I would say Tua playing is probably what solidifies this as a Miami look, and then you want to tease it down to Miami basically as a pick 'em. I'd be much more comfortable playing it there.